beautiful skyline of Denver, Colorado is our backdrop tonight. Hello, basketball fans. You've got it on 2K Sports as we get set to bring you an exciting NBA basketball game. In this game, we'll see the Denver Nuggets against the Los Angeles Clippers. Kevin Harlan with you, joined by Doris Berg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge reporting courtside. DA, it's all yours.
Kevin, thanks very much. Nikola Jokic loves to pass. He said an assist makes two people happy instead of just one. So it's as simple as that. And that simplicity and creative joy is part of what makes the big man tick. Jokic said, "It helps me having fun out there. It's a different way to approach the game." And that makes him one of a kind in this league, Kevin.
Sure is. Thanks, DA. Here are the five for the Clippers. Ivica Zubac is out there with Morris. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George. And it's Beverly in at the point. And for Denver, filling out the wings, Harris and Barton. Millsap and Jokic, the big men. And it's Murray in at the point guard. Tip-off goes to the Clippers. Here's Beverly. Here's Leonard. Pass to Morris. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
Well, Kawhi Leonard's passing skills have developed over the years, and if you give him that much attention, he'll find his teammates.
And Kawhi Leonard with a very analytical approach, Doris, to the game. Studies angles, movement, trying to groove in on perfect mechanics. I mean, he does it all.
Yeah, Kev, that goes back to his favorite high school subject, which was math. And think about how precisely he has built his game. He started at the free throw line, then went to the low post, and now has added the range game. Very analytic approach. Mr. Morris leaves no doubt.
And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for Denver. 4-point game. Harris outside. Barton surveying the floor. Leonard with the steal. And oh, here we go with Leonard. Nobody back. And then Leonard with the dunk.
You know, many consider this guy the best two-way player in the world. And you love that Kawhi Leonard's defense, he is the guy that finishes. That's appropriate.
Murray against Beverly. Murray outside. Second shot opportunity. It's hauled in by Zubac.
Well, we love his ability to attack the rim. He just loses a little bit of focus and misses the chipping.
Here's George. Doesn't go that time. Now the Nuggets take it the other way. George against Harris. In the corner, Murray with it. There's the pass to Jokic. Just 5 on the clock. And that's going to be a travel. When you look at the balance of power between players and teams, Greg, does it feel like the players now have more say, more control than they used to?
No doubt. We're seeing more players demand trades, sign shorter contracts with opt-outs. And the irony of that is, in my era, our best players were fearful for the length of their contracts or the life expectancy of their careers, believe it or not. And these guys today, they understand their value. They know what they bring to the table, and they are utilizing that to the max.
And is that good, Greg, for the game?
I think so. I do think most guys want to win, and they understand that their legacies are going to be defined about whether or not they do.
Well, that's one way he can finish, but far from the only way he gets it done. He's got all kinds of tricks up his sleeve.
Here's George. It's good. He scores. That's his first basket after missing his first 2 attempts. Now 1 for 3.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Here's Craig. Passes to Murray. Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
And the confidence from Murray, just so efficient from the interior.
Outside Leonard. No good that time. Nice D from Porter. And pushing it up. Here's Denver. Porter's running. Here's Murray up on top. To the inside. Here's Jokic. Score the basket. Nice shot after missing his first attempt.
Plays a rugged game down low. Jokic's toughness adds character to the identity of this team.
Now, here is Morris. Zubac. And the dunk by Zubac.
And guys, he's not an easy man to stop when he's got the rim in his sights.
Never has been, never will be. He is a determined finisher. Murray against Beverly. Murray surveying the D. That shot is off.
Well, he's a quality mid-range shooter, but he can't get that one to go.
And so the first quarter is in the books. Clippers lead by 4. The second quarter coming up right after this break, so don't go anywhere. We recently checked in with Jamal Murray, who discussed the team's approach to each game.
The mentality of how we play, how we move the ball, how unselfish we are, next pass mentality, next man up mentality. Just keep each other alive. We got to, like I said, bring that energy, bring that enthusiasm that we always have.
Greg, sounds like something a coach would say.
It's probably something his coach has said time and time again, but Murray's really matured into a reliable, sometimes spectacular performer for this team.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And taking a look at Los Angeles' performance here, what have they been doing or not doing?
Well, you come in thinking they're going to settle for perimeter jump shots. Think again.
They've certainly made the commitment to pounding the basketball into the painted area, and boy, is it paying dividends.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Marcus Morris is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Beverly in at the 1 spot. And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut back down again to 6 with the basket from Plumlee. And here is Los Angeles now. Here's Leonard. Nice D from Porter.
Boy, if you're going up against this guy in this close a range, you've got to defend with everything you've got. A tremendous job defensively. For the Nuggets, Paul Millsap is checked in for Jeremy Grant, and it's Gary Harris in for Torrey Craig. And the Clippers with a change here, too. Montrezl Harrell, he's checked in for Zubac. Morris, left side. Outside Leonard. George, that's a 2-pointer. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. George has got the lead up to 8 now for the Clippers. Morris against Beverly. Back to Morris. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Now, here's Leonard. The shot by George, wide open. Sinks the 3-pointer. George has got 9.
And not a great start for him in the first, but he's quickly starting to turn it around.
Morris passes to Millsap. Three-pointer. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Outside Leonard. Back to Beverly. It's stolen by Harris. Now about 3 minutes gone in the second quarter of basketball. Millsap against Morris. Here's Porter. Excellent D there from George. Los Angeles leading by 9. Leonard attacking, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Boy, what is more fear-invoking than Kawhi off the bounce near the cup? Look out.
46 seconds left to play in the first half. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Plumlee finds Millsap. Back to Plumlee. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Really the right play defensively. If you can't block, force him to the line.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
And not the guy you want to see at the line too often. Season numbers has him in the bottom tier of the league.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from Plumlee for the Nuggets. Jokic has checked in for Millsap. Martin comes in for Porter. And it's Jamal Murray in for Morris. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
When the story of Kawhi Leonard is told, it will be about the hard work being the secret of his success. Here was a guy who was not the most vaunted prospect in either high school or college. But boy, he kept his eyes on what he was after, and he kept working.
And here are the Nuggets now after the basket by Los Angeles. Beverly against Murray. Clock at 6. Jokic trying to free himself up. Almost, but it rolls out.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
That'll do it for the first half. Clippers ahead as they wrap up the second quarter with a 13-5 run. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks so much. Kawhi, you seem to be so at ease out there. How much is that helping your game?
It's helping me out a lot. Just coming in the game relaxed, just with more intensity. I mean, my teammates are getting me involved on the offensive end. I'm playing great on defense. We just got to keep it up second half and not let it up.
Hey, Kawhi, thank you very much for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello, basketball fans. What a pleasure it is to bring you into the 2K studios again. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. The largest lead they had was 6 in the opening period. They were strong at both ends of the court in the second quarter. And with a 12-point lead at the half, they may be a hard team to beat tonight. What'd you think, Shaq, about the first half we saw from the Clippers?
Listen, man, I just touched PG. I gotta get a Band-Aid. This boy is so sharp. Guy had to overcome injuries and play alongside new teammates every few years, but he's terrific.
And Kenny, what did you think about Denver?
Well, they're trailing in this game because they're shooting under 35%. Now, I've got to give a lot of credit to the defense, forcing the shooters off their spots and making them feel uncomfortable. But if someone takes something away from you, you have to be able to adapt. So they need a whole new game plan because right now they're in trouble.
Thanks for joining us, folks. We're now just a few minutes away from the start of the third quarter.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Without question, George is displaying his skills today.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but Boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Denver. At the forward spots, it's Barton and Millsap. The backcourt is Murray and Harris. And it's Jokic in at the center position. And it's slammed in by Millsap.
How many times have we seen Millsap throw it down? We've known about his leaping ability for years.
And George with the stuff.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat. And so it's Murray who brings the ball up for the Nuggets. Down by 12. Stolen by Beverly. And here we go. Fast break. Beverly's got it. Here's Leonard. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed. Leonard's got 6 points.
This is a small forward who, because he's 230 pounds, can hold his own down in the low post. That is nicely done.
Pass to Murray. Leonard with the steal. And now the Clippers on the break. And Harrell slams it in.
Throw it up and let Montrezl Harrell finish.
Third quarter of basketball. We're about a minute and a half in. Murray against Beverly. And it's out of bounds. And they say it was last touched by Leonard. Teams have dynasties. The 90s, Michael Jordan. We've seen it over the many decades. Over the next decade, though, who do you think is going to lead the pack there?
Ooh, that's a great question. You know, with the way Father Time is treating LeBron, you might have to wait and see because he is still playing at such a high level. But, you know, obviously Giannis has got to be on the short list with the Bucks. For me, I really look at Luka in Dallas. I just feel like with Kristaps Porzingis, that duo could just be deadly with how the game is played. But don't sleep on the Celtics with Tatum and Brown and that group that they have, with the front office they have. Man, I think the league overall is going to be in great shape moving forward.
It sure seems that way. Morris is checked in for Barton. Now here's Leonard. He has 6, and he makes that one. Leonard's got 4 this quarter.
80% shooting to start the third, 4 for 5.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Nuggets.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Well, poor rotations, poor communication. There's a lot to figure out right now.
And the Nuggets making a change here. Porter's checked in. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Morris inside. Defended by Beverly. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Nuggets shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. The first one falls. Los Angeles making a switch here. Williams is checked in. And Morris drops them both. Los Angeles leading by 16. Leonard on the wing. Leonard draws the double. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Harrell kicks to Williams. A floater, and it's Denver with the rebound. Porter's got 4 rebounds in this game. 1:30 left to play in the third. And the rejection by Harrell. Williams against Morris. And here is Williams.
Well, you know, teams look for +60s. Players whose wingspans exceed their height by a half foot. Montrezl Harrell is a 6'7" player with a 7'4" wingspan. If you're struggling with the math, ladies and gentlemen, that's a +9.
Here's Leonard. Tipped away. And George kicks to Leonard. And it's Monte Morris with the foul. That's his first foul. Mason Plumlee's checked in for Denver. Mason Plumlee. 54 seconds left in the third quarter. Leonard draws the double. Pass to George. Three-pointer. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got his 8th assist in the game.
His shooting has been outstanding here. Definitely one of the reasons they're up in this game.
Here's Craig. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet. Plumlee against Morris. Plumlee, no luck. 3 seconds separate the shot clock and game clock. A clear look for George. Again, Los Angeles.
You can just see the passion and love with which he plays the game. You see how he prepares, the work ethic, the way he interacts with his teammates. And when he hits the floor, it's all about the game.
And it's George finishing it off.
It's impressive, the level of domination at both ends, and you're seeing the results.
You know this. It's not easy building a lead on the road, but this team has been lights out throughout the game.
Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Los Angeles. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with him. Right back after this break. And let's take now this moment to bring up our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And the Clippers, looking at who they've got. We've got Williams. Harrell is out there with Morris. Then it's Paul George. And it's Leonard in at the 3, the small forward.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Murray, the pass to Millsap. And he banks in the layup.
And with long arms and great strength, Millsap can make plays bigger than his actual size.
Williams kicks to Leonard. You know, Greg, you probably know as well as anyone, what was it like going up against the Bulls in the 90s?
You know, it's weird to say, but in a lot of ways, we were a lot like they were. Hall of Fame talent at the coach, a defensive-minded team, but the one difference was, you know, the Bulls had that guy that wore that number 23. I think I'd say that might have been the one difference.
Millsap, Plumlee trying to break loose, and it's Millsap, that time on the assist by Murray.
How good a playmaker are we watching? Always leading, always trying to create for others.
Harrell dishes to George. A three-pointer off the mark.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Harris's shot is off. Clippers leading by 23. A 3 from Leonard. Good on the three-point shot. Leonard's got 11 points here in just the second half.
This guy loves to help his team space the floor. You have to respect Kawhi's range. He will make you pay.
Williams against Murray. To the middle. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
To the paint. It's stolen by Harris. And here we go. Fast break. Murray's got it. And they pick up 2.
How about the strength of Murray finishing the shot off easily, even with the harm? And if you're drawing up your starting 5 for team irrational confidence, Jamal Murray makes a strong case. This guy is fearless.
Free throw good, Murray. And Murray, we know, can be streaky, Greg. Still mid 30% for his career from three-point range.
Of course, the degree of difficulty pretty high on a lot of his shots. Off the bounce with the hand in his face. And he's more than a shooter, a versatile scorer who can get it done in a variety of ways. And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And so it's going to end up in the record books as a blowout, a dominating performance for the Clippers.
You don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team in just about every single category.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Kawhi Leonard.
You have to focus on the steals he came up with. They were huge factors in the end result.
And he makes the first.
I like how Jeremy Grant continues to work on his game. The jumper is coming along, and he remains an exceptional defensive player.
Morris is checked in for Jamal Murray. Reggie Jackson's checked in for the Clippers. Harrell with it. Vonleh on him. Now Harrell. And here's George for 3. Here's Leonard. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. It goes on Noah Vonleh.
Well, Kawhi has become one of the smartest offensive players in the game. Understanding use of the shot fake and what it can give you.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good.
An extraordinary improvement over the course of his career by Kawhi Leonard. He has now turned himself into one of the game's best, if not the best, two-way player.
Leonard hits them both. 40 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Down low, here's Bates Diop. He can't get that one to fall. Great D that time from Leonard. Right side, George. Morris outside. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And then Leonard with the dunk.
Spirited performance. You love to get this kind of win, especially on the road.
You've got to be able to block out all distractions in enemy territory. This team did a tremendous job staying focused on the task at hand.
Grant, that's good.
Well, this is why Jeremy Grant's size is important. Stretches out beautifully whenever he's close to the rack.
Outside Leonard. So the Clippers winning this one easily. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
Yeah, you know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Kawhi, you seem to pick it up offensively down the stretch. So what changed for you?
I just started to knock down shots, got my rhythm going, my teammates found me, and just kept going from there.
Well, it rode all the way to a win, and I know you like that, man, so appreciate your time. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.